And then I saw the billing address was Kendall Jenner. No. And we got like orders. And we were completely sold out within like 3 hours. I'm so obsessed with becoming more feminine. FAINE is actually my second baby.
I think for me, therapy is journaling.
It was unfortunate because I went through grief because my dad passed away.
If you're listening to this right now and you're going through like a really tough time, honestly, time is a healer.
Hello guys, welcome back to the Coffee Club, the coffee date you don't cancel.
Today we are joined by Linda Hausser, an entrepreneur who has built not just one but two incredible brands, Janthee and FAINE. She started her business at just 22, turning a gap in the swimwear market into a globally recognized brand known for its quality, elegance and international design, with pieces that have been worn by names like Kendall Jenner and Hailey Bieber. Since then, she's expanded internationally and built a presence in luxury destinations around the world. Please welcome to the Coffee Club, Linda Hausser.
Woo! Hi. Oh my god, I'm getting emotional. This was so good.
Oh my god, I'm so glad you like it. That is literally
you
all
did your homework.
We did our homework, and I am so excited to have you here at the Coffee Club.
Me too.
If you're watching, you have to just see how beautiful Linda is. She's gorgeous.
Honestly,
she's
mashallah, mashallah, you are glowing. I need to know, what are you wearing on your face?
Skincare.
I need to know, what is the top makeup brands that you are wearing? What's like your go-to product?
No, actually, like when I'm on camera, I always do Charlotte Tilbury. Like when I'm not on camera, I do like more lighter things. But today I was like, okay, I need the thick cream. I need the
the magic
spray.
cream.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I need the setting spray. Yeah. But normally, like day to day, I love Korean products. Like I try, like I don't even know the names. I'm just like buying here, buying there. I just really like to just try around because I think Korean products, they're so light and they really enhance like the natural, beauty,
it's
and
so true.
They don't really clog your pores. So this is what my experience is.
And you know what the great thing is now in Dubai, there are so many places that stock Korean skincare.
Yeah.
Like
it's very trendy.
Yeah, like 2 years ago, you couldn't really find anything. But now, so many places that stock it.
It's so good and it's so affordable, honestly. If someone doesn't know what to buy, just buy Korean products. I really want to travel there though. Maybe like in 10 years, another facelift. Like, not another, but like a facelift for sure.
Whenever I go on TikTok and I see people traveling to Korea, they have these amazing treatments where they'll like go into a salon, they're like trying this XYZ facial for the first time and their skin looks incredible afterwards.
So good. Like glassy.
I need to take a trip.
Yeah. Girls trip to Korea. If anyone wants to sponsor.
Please let us know.
Any brands? Charlotte Tilbury.
Charlotte Tilbury, Charlotte, babe. We're waiting for you.
We're all wearing Charlotte.
We actually are all wearing Charlotte.
Yeah, I just like used the pressed powder.
I just stole your powder. What was it? Shade number 2?
Yeah, shade number 2.
You should have shade 1.
Really?
Yeah, shade 1 under the eyes looks so good. Oh, by the way, are your freckles real?
Straight honestly, funny thing, because so my mother-in-law was in town and she's from Lebanon and she was here for like a month, and then my boyfriend, he thinks that they're real.
I love that. I love that.
And then we were literally because the thing is, I love to tan. Like I normally I remember I started so late with like sun protection with skincare. I literally started like putting sun protection on my face when I was 28, like super late.
Okay.
So back then, when I would go to the sun, I would get so many freckles, like because my dad had also like it was a red hair, so he had so many freckles. So I got it from him. But since I'm like so aware of my skin and now I'm aging and I really want to protect my face, I'm literally not going in the sun with my face anymore. So I needed to fake here and there. But I have a bit of, but then I covered with makeup and then I need to reapply
it again. Well,
you do that too.
I apply fake freckles every day. I just haven't done it today, but I'm obsessed.
It's so cute. I love it. And it gives this like natural touch on top of it.
Especially if you've overdone your makeup. Sometimes you sit there and you're like, oh, I've done too much. If you add some faux freckles, it makes it look more natural.
Yeah,
but it's so funny that you that people actually are aware of it. Back then I remember when I started to date my boyfriend, in Europe, like obviously when I'm going to the beach, whatever, I still have sunscreen, but like I'm exposed to the sun the entire day. So at the end of the day, it's just like my face full with. I think he also confuses melasma and freckles. Honestly,
okay. He's like, baby, got melasma. I'm like, these are freckles.
Like literally everywhere. So now I'm like, okay, halas, like I don't want to go to the sun anymore. I really need to protect my skin.
Oh, they look fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Have you seen those people there are some people that get freckle tattoos.
Oh my God, I saw it. But
I-
it looks great, but it's crazy.
It is crazy. However, I did dabble in the thought about getting a freckle tattoo.
Girl, are you crazy?
Honestly, my love for freckles is just a bit
You would
unhealthy.
get them, like, imagine maybe it'll go wrong later.
No, but there's obviously people that specialize in tattoo freckles. If you see me with tattoo freckles next episode, mind your business.
Mind my business. Okay, I wanted to ask you, who was Linda before Janthee and FAINE?
So I started Janthee when I was 21, 22, and I think that...
Are we saying it wrong? It's not Janthee. It's
So I say Janthee.
Janthee.
Oh,
Okay,
got
Janthee
it.
is actually the name of my mom.
Oh,
Just like
Oh my
that.
gosh, I love that.
Janthee,
So
got
it's a
it.
Thai name.
Okay.
I actually, now thinking back, I have no clue how I thought about naming my brand after my mom's name.
Yeah.
But I love the name so much. It's so unique. Like, you literally have, like, I never heard it somewhere else before. From the beginning, I think I was a very introvert. Still now, I'm a very introvert person. Like, it takes like 2 or 3 people, fine. But if we are like a big room, I get very anxious. So I would say I was a very introvert, also a little bit of anxious and insecure girl. I've never felt like I belong. I think this was like the start of everything. I believe that every entrepreneur who kind of made it, we are like trauma driven. Otherwise, why would you put yourself into, you know, this hustle culture for such a long time and literally work if you don't want to maybe prove something, you don't want to, maybe you want to, you know, show something to your family, your friends, whatever. So back then, I think I was a bit insecure. I never felt like I belonged to somewhere. I was born in Thailand and I grew up in Germany, and I was never into, you know, drugs or alcohol, and Berlin, where I was from. If you grow up in Berlin, this is what you're doing on the weekends.
And if you don't, you don't fit in.
Exactly.
Kind of.
Yeah.
And I like to go out, but I was never the type of person who would go out until 5 a.m. And in Berlin, like, the clubs are starting at 3 a.m.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
I
that is
know.
crazy.
And I love it here that things are closing at 2 a.m. I felt so connected to the community.
She's like, I love this. I'm home.
amazing. Exactly. I was always very ambitious. I remember when I was going to school, I never took like any afternoon off. I was learning the flute. I was singing, I was doing pottery. I was like drawing. Like, it was every day there was something. And it was like, I needed to really learn how to take a day off. Like now also, like everything. Now it's so crazy. Now I'm 32. Looking back, everything makes sense. Like back when you're growing up, you're like, why am I like this? Why am I like this? And now it's like, everything makes sense, you know? So yeah, this was the Linda before I started Janthee and FAINE.
She was a hustler from day
one.
And she needs to learn how to take a break. But I think that if you didn't learn that from such a young age, maybe you wouldn't have that same drive that you have now. Right?
Exactly. No, for sure. I also think I would have never been in the position I am right now. I remember also my friends back then were very wealthy, and I was always working. Like, I started my first job at 16. I was, you know, in the American movies where the people would throw the newspaper at them.
Oh, a paper run. I did a paper run. I remember. Did you also do one?
Yes, I did it.
Did you do one?
No, we don't have a
Go
paper
away.
run.
You
I
can't
grew
relate.
up in Dubai.
Oh, of course, there's no newspapers.
Does anyone throw? No, they do. They do actually, but
do?
it's very rare.
I remember doing a paper run. You literally unlocked a memory.
I know. Paper route. I sold ice cream. I was a waitress. Like, I did literally everything. Because always in my back of my mind, I wanted to be independent. Like, but it was not like, okay, I hate men. I want to be independent. I don't need them. It was more like, I want to have the possibility, if something goes wrong, that I'm allowed to leave and I still have a stable life. And this was somehow always in the back of my mind, even though my parents, like, they divorced, but it was never like a nasty divorce. But I always felt like maybe my mom would have done things differently if she would have the sources
To do it.
So I always had it in my mind, and I always I felt it was so dangerous for a woman to just be only relying on at a man.
Yeah.
So I think this, and then a little bit of like that, I wanted to maybe also feel like I belong somewhere. You know, I was always working when my friends weren't going out, shopping, whatever, and I was not able to afford the same things. But for me, it was never a materialistic goal. It was always like, even now, if I want something, I want to be able to buy it for myself. I want to be in the position that I go to the store, and if I want it, I
can get it.
When I was 21, I felt like there was a gap in the market in swimwear, and then I just, not even of business mindset, it was just like, okay, I want to sell to friends. this is how it started.
Oh, I love that. You know what you're saying? I can relate to it so much because, like you, my mum taught me growing up that I need to be independent. I've worked since I was like 14 years old. And like you said, I've done everything from paper run, which completely was at the back of my mind, to being a waitress, to working in retail, to working for an airline company, to working, honestly, I have done probably every job you can probably think of. And it did shape me into the person I am now. Like I can look back and say, oh, now I understand why I did those things. It comes from that aspect of being secure. If anything happened in my life, alhamdulillah, I'm married, we have children and everything, but I can always rely on myself. Exactly. I'm never going to have to feel scared that if this goes wrong, that I don't know what to do, because I've equipped myself with the skills, the mindset, the drive that if anything goes wrong, I know how to pick myself back up and get on with it. Same way, like you said, when you go into a store, you want to be able to just have that security within you that says, I can get this.
Yeah. For sure.
And it's interesting because I've done so many different jobs. I always feel like I'm not doing enough. And I'm used to like having a schedule that's busy from like 7 a.m. until 9 p.m. that when my schedule has gaps in it, I'm like, no, I should be doing more.
For sure. But this is also how you eventually become a good leader. If you want to build something on your own at one point, you can say, I've been cutting all the episodes by myself. Yeah. So if your company gonna be acquired by a big company in the future and you start to outsource the task, you'd be like, no, I did it. I know how to do it.
Yeah.
And because you're humble enough, because you know how it is, like how you started.
You've started your latest venture, FAINE, and it has a beautiful story related to it. So can you tell us a little bit more about it?
FAINE is actually my second baby. I am so connected and passionate about this brand. It's a little bit different than Janthee. So back then I started Janthee out of, like I couldn't find proper swimwear, high quality swimwear in the market. And with FAINE, it's more like, okay, I had all the knowledge of how to build an e-com brand, but I wanted to build something with much more purpose. Of course, Janthee has a purpose as well. Like we want to create high quality swimwear for an accessible price. But like for FAINE, when I started, it was never about revenue. When we launched our journals last year, it was unfortunately because I went through grief because my dad passed away and I just didn't know how to, because like I said, I'm an introvert, right? Yeah. So talking to the therapist just takes me a lot of time. I remember I was talking to a therapist and I was hiring her just because of that. And it took us, I think, 6 months until I was able to open up. Wow. So I feel like a lot of girls or people are going through similar stories like me, and I wanted to create a safe space and something very personal where you can grieve on your own terms and on your own timeline. Mm-hmm. So this was where the idea about the journals came up. And like I said, it was never about like, okay, let's make money, let's, build like a big e-com brand, because if I'm very honest with you, selling journals is not as easy. So everything we're doing right now is really, really purpose driven. So I started with the grief journal, which was such a hit. And we actually received a review 2 weeks ago where a woman texted us and was like, yeah, like she lost her husband and she's, writing every day in this journal. And it really helps her, to reflect on, the past and whatsoever. And this is like just amazing. This is like the biggest compliment ever. So after creating the grief journal, I was thinking, okay, how can we actually elevate the brand into more accessible topics which we're all going through? Mm-hmm. So then I came up with the heartbreak journal, because obviously every one of us has been going through heartbreaks. Yeah. And instead of calling your friend every 2 minutes and like screenshotting and be just like over analyzing, I was like, no, let's calm down and let's just write our thoughts inside and just literally make sure that we don't attract the same guys, because again, like everything is connected to trauma, right? Mm-hmm. So I really wanted to, make people analyze what they want to manifest in the future, what went wrong, why they were triggered. So everything this you find in the heartbreak journal, which is also guided day by day. Since I'm very into wellness, at the end, I created the wellness journal, which is also guided. So you have motivational quotes every day. It will track your skin, how much you drank, how many steps so literally everything, like even your gut. The reason also why I created these journals, especially the grief journal. So after my dad passed away, I was looking into like self-help books and whatever. And everything was so dark. Like you would Google grief journal or grief books or how to overcome grief and blah, blah, blah. And everything was just black, great. And I was just felt like, actually, I think I'm okay. I just want to,
Let my thoughts out.
Exactly. But I'm not that dark. You know what I mean? So I could not find something aesthetic, but also helpful, because at the end, we're all aesthetic girlies, and I don't want to compromise on my journal. Another thing, what I realized is that grief is still such a taboo topic, and that showed, because otherwise, why can't we make something positive out of it?
Everyone opens up to therapy different. So, for example, when you said it took you 6 months to actually like dive into the subjects that you needed to with your therapist, it would probably take me just the amount same time, because I always think to myself, I don't need a therapist. I can just do this myself.
Yeah.
And there's something about sitting down with a journal and writing out your thoughts that makes so much more sense to you rather than you explaining it to someone. Because it's like you can look down at that journal and say, oh my God, I didn't think about that. Now that I've written my thoughts on paper, I can understand why I'm feeling like this way. But only you can dissect your thoughts. It's a really interesting concept.
And the most amazing thing is if you look back through your pages and you'd be like, okay, well, last year, wow, I was thinking this way. The same thing with the heartbreak journal. Because sometimes if you're within heartbreak, we're so into it. And we're like, we don't see anything outside of this bubble. So then you've been through, right? The year after, you think like, what?
Honestly,
How was
it's
I
like,
thinking?
him?
Yeah, him, that little rat.
Honestly, isn't it so crazy? I was actually speaking to my husband about this the other day, that relationships, friendships, work relationships, romantic relationships are such a strange concept, because you could be with someone for like 8 years and then they are literally like your world and you know each other inside out. And then as soon as you break up, they're just a stranger.
Yeah,
it's such an interesting concept, honestly, the things that go on in my mind. But as you were talking about the journal and looking back onto like your past year, it's a beautiful journey because it shows you how much you've shed and grown.
For sure.
I always recommend journaling to people, especially people that find therapy really difficult, because you need to get this out. Like all of those emotions and thoughts that you're thinking, you need to put it on paper or you need to speak it out to someone, because keeping that all inside of you is more damaging than good. And even if you're listening to this right now and you're going through like a really tough time or you don't see the end of the tunnel, honestly, time is a healer.
For sure.
And I highly recommend journals, honestly, to everyone.
Yeah.
I am such a writer, like, especially like growing up. I grew up in a North African household, right?
Traumatizing.
Very chaotic household. It's just like, if I ever said to my mom, like, oh, Mom, I'm depressed, she would be like, depressed about what?
I know.
Like,
they don't get it.
Depressed? What do you have to be depressed about? Like, you're fed, you have a roof over your head, you have no bills to pay. You've got clothes, blah, blah, blah. You should go and see the kids in Morocco.
Yeah.
And, I'm not depressed. I used to journal from like year 7. So how old are you? Like 11 years old?
Yeah.
And it was so therapeutic to me because I felt like I can't say this out loud because nobody understands me, but I understand myself. And sometimes I don't understand myself. Honestly, what goes on in my mind is a bit crazy. But as soon as you write it down, it's just a lot clearer.
If you're in the moment and you feel so heavy and you just write down, and maybe even a day later, if you look at it, you just feel like the heaviness is just gone.
So true, you feel so much lighter.
Exactly.
Have you journaled before?
I'm a journaler.
Oh.
I can add it in my bio, journaler.
Yeah.
So I think for me, therapy is journaling. Genuinely, like the hardest times of my life, I wrote in a journal, which is why I'm so excited to use your journals. Genuinely, like it's like an ongoing joke between me and my friends. I'm such a lover girl. I fall in love with anyone that's nice to me. Like
Honestly.
if someone like opens the door or like gives me my chair, I'm like, I love him, Layla.
She's honestly.
And with that,
I can't explain it. I've never met anyone like this creature next to me.
but with that comes a lot of like the opposite feeling, like a lot of heartbreak and a lot of like pain when like things don't go like how I pictured it perfectly in my head, because I'm very delusional.
You also pour into people a lot.
Yeah, and sometimes the wrong people, and that's okay. I feel like it's wonderful to have empathy. It's wonderful to be really connected to your emotions, because we live in a world where like that's very lacking. Like a lot of people are selfish. They lack emotions for other people as well. So I'm okay with being emotional, but the only thing that gets me through that is journaling. And like I literally in grade 7 also started journaling, which is crazy. I didn't know you started in year 7. I started journaling, and I have all my journals from that from
Wow.
then till now. And sometimes I read them. Actually, the first time I journaled, sorry, was in grade 4.
Oh, wow.
Because my mom found it the other day, and I was just talking about some guy that I had a crush on, of course. Like, all I knew was, like, who I had a crush
All you
on.
knew was guys.
I was like, Mom, I had it, like, and sorry, I would always start, like, Dear
Dear
Diary.
Diary.
Yeah, Dear Diary. And then I would write a bunch of stuff. But then the older I got, the less time I had. And, like, even when I went through something 100 times more traumatic, I was like, if I put it on paper, like, it's gonna allow it to be real. So I don't even want to journal. So I developed this, like, weird relationship with journaling because it felt like I was only writing the negative things. I forgot to write the positive things.
True.
You know? So with time, like, I did decide, like, okay, I'm not only going to write when things hurt me, I'll write when I've, like, experienced something amazing. Like, when I started working with Dyson, or when I started working with, like, big brands, I started journaling those things as well. So it's beautiful that you take this idea of something that could be so negative, but how can we add a little bit light to it? Like, I really love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, honestly, your story is it's so true, because also at the end, we really need to make sure that we remember the good times, like especially in
Yeah.
entrepreneurship. I sometimes remember, like, for example, when we were talking about Kendall Jenner and Hailey Bieber, in that moment, like this moment, I was like literally 5 minutes I was happy, and then okay, next one. You know what I mean? So like, it's so important that you give yourself credit, or like you just allow yourself to be happy and without the rush behind it. That's why our journals, we really encourage to also write the positive things, affirmation and so on, that we just make sure, you know, we surround ourselves with the positive energy as well.
So we did want to talk about your breakthrough moments. Janthee was worn by Kendall and Hailey, and we want to talk about, like, how did that how did that feel for you? Because obviously it now put you on, like, the global scale, and, like, how did that make you think differently of your brand, like, going forward? What do I have to do differently, right, to keep up that?
So when that happened, I remember exactly where I was. I was literally laying in bed. It was COVID. And back then I was still checking all the orders. So we already had a fulfillment center. So it was not, so I started from my bedroom. So in the beginning, it was literally everything in my IKEA wardrobe. So in that point, it was not anymore. We had a fulfillment center in Portugal. And I remember I was still checking all the orders just for the sake of feeling good, you know? I was just wanted to see how many orders I did. So I saw like an order which says like KJ, and I was like, what do you mean like KJ? Let me go on it. And it was like super weird. It like just like this name, like it was US in Los Angeles. And then I clicked more, and then I end up at the billing address. And then I saw the billing address was Kendall Jenner. And I was like, no way she bought it. She wasn't gifted. Like, she went to the website and bought the bikini, and she bought like 5 bikinis. And I remember I saw that, and I called my warehouse, like, you put 10 bikinis inside.
You put one of every size and color. You give it to her mom, her brother.
The
you give
whole
it to
family's
everyone.
gonna wear Janthee.
And it was just such a surreal moment, because this happened, and I you know, you don't know if they're gonna wear it, because there are so many things needs to happen that they're gonna wear it. Like, it needs to fit. They need to like it in real life. They need to take a selfie on that day, because, you know, we all go to holiday, and I don't feel myself like every day, and I don't feel like posting every day. So there's so many, you know, like a bit of luck needs to be part of it as well. So like, I think a month later I was traveling, and I was just on boarding my flight from Spain back to Germany. And then I saw a DM. Is that someone DM'd me her picture and was like, isn't this a Janthee bikini? And I was like, are you serious? And the thing is, I never experienced something like this before, because I was just in Berlin. I was a girl who just wants to sell swimwear. Like, I never thought about a big scale. Of course, at that point, we already made money, but like, it was never like, okay, I'm gonna make this amount of money. It's gonna be such a big team. We're gonna have a big warehouse. So I was like, okay, what's gonna happen? So once I landed, and then all the magazines were like, where is her bikini come from? Because she doesn't tag, right? Like,
Oh, but it's me.
hey, Janthee. Yeah. So basically, when she posts, because she doesn't tag and she doesn't give credit, obviously, the magazines, and like you have those pages where it's like, okay, what is she wearing and whatever.
Yeah.
Once they started to post, we got like orders, and we were completely sold out within like 3 hours. It was insane.
Wow.
It was literally insane. the impact of a celebrity in this scale, like no wonder Alo Yoga is hiring her or has her as an ambassador, because they probably make so much sales. But for me, I think the most proudest moment was just that she bought it herself. Like I didn't gift it to her.
Yeah.
So then obviously those girls, you know, I mean, like you guys are friends, like Hailey and Kendall, they're very tight and they're talking, you know, what kind of bikini, whatever. So we were able to send one to Hailey, and then to like a bunch of other girls, like Irina Shayks, like a bunch of top models.
Wow.
So this is just so insane. But as I just mentioned before, I also need to remind myself sometimes to be proud of myself and be like, okay, wow, you're 25 and this is what you built, you know, by yourself. Because the same thing, like I think we were at that time only 3 girls in the company and had a fulfillment center. And because, you know, life is so fast paced and there's so many entrepreneurs on the market, you're always like one thing finish and you're immediately, okay, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? Which keeps you so like busy. And
especially in fashion.
Exactly, because things are so fast paced. How social media is transforming has a big impact, because I'm, for example, I'm not a Gen Z, so I have no clue about TikTok. You know what I mean? And right now there are brands literally blowing up within
From
2
TikTok.
months. Like
From
sold out,
TikTok,
whatever. And then they just from TikTok, and I literally have no clue. So coming back to your questions, like what are my plans right now? So I'm still a little bit like old school, I would say. So since the brand is already 10 years, so we are right now building our brand around like luxury resorts. So we're working with Six Senses. We have now a pop-up in the Egyptian Room, which is amazing. This hotel is like literally one of my favorite hotels ever. It's so luxurious. It's just so like also not too much old money, which I really like. So you can find like really cool people there. So this was a big thing that we have a permanent pop-up there. And yeah, we really want to stabilize the brand by having them in like those dreamy destinations, like big names like Mandarin, Six Senses, and so on.
Congratulations, first of all. I
Yes,
want to
huge
start and
congrats.
say, mashallah, amazing,
Thank you so
gorgeous
much.
story. Like, you're so dedicated, you're so driven. I think it's such a beautiful testament to who you are. Your aura is amazing. We
Thank
felt
you.
it the second you walked in.
Second we met you.
Yeah, and it's so like inspirational to girls who do want to start a brand and like they don't know where they have to start. Like you started from your bedroom and now it's like a luxury brand. It's incredible what you've done with the brand. I'd love to start with that. In this crazy world of entrepreneurship, what keeps you grounded?
I'm very big on wellness.
Okay.
What I just mentioned before, I'm a very much routine girl. Even on holidays, it takes me a lot of effort to not put an alarm on. So like I really love to have like some structure, because if I have structure on some parts of the day, I can be a little bit more, you know, like loose on the others. For example, now today, like I wake up at 6 a.m. I work for 1.5 hours, then I have Lagree. So I'm really active. I love to go to Lagree. I love to get my steps in, you know, and these things really, really keep me grounded, because when life gets busy and you don't have like a routine, you just
Get lost.
Yeah, get lost. Especially when you're having a team, you need to be someone. Also, you need to be someone other people looks up to, because my team, they're quite young. So whatever I do, I set an example. So if I go to work and I'm not getting myself done, I don't put my makeup on, then they won't do it. You know, and which is fine. Like in Europe, by the way, because I'm from there, in Europe, it's so normal to not get your nails done, not to get your makeup done, whatever. But this is just not the culture I want to cultivate, because I also think that a lot of power in women comes in dressing up, getting yourself ready, investing time, money in yourself.
Yeah.
And I want that the team has this like aura, this energy within us. This is such a nice and feminine way also to lead, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm very big on wellness and taking care of yourself and being healthy.
You spoke about a lot of the challenges of entrepreneurship and what it took to get you here. What's a piece of advice that you can leave for someone who wanted to start a business or who wants to embark on a similar journey that you did?
I think that you're passionate, because a lot of passionate people become successful. For example, if I'm working like 16 hours per day, I can't do this if I'm not passionate about it. Passion is a big thing. And with passion follows being authentic, and also resilient, because businesses are not always stable. Like even with Janthee, we had phases when it went super high and super low. And this is the economy, and we need to be very aware of it. And building a business is not that glamorous like you think, you know, like you see on social media only the highlight reel. You see like, even me, like on my social media, like, yeah, I have meetings there. I'm traveling to Bodrum. I'm setting up. I'm like in the most beautiful hotel in Bodrum. But you don't see how messy it is, like how little sleep I got. There's no direct flight. Then you're like, I was literally in the police station for like 6 hours to get our items out of the customs. There's so much going on. And if you're not resilient, how will you even survive this? And you really need to be aware that, especially when you start a business and you started like without having a team, you won't have a life in the next 2 years. Thank God when I built FAINE, I had a team, because my goal right now, for example, coming back to feeling grounded and my goals, I don't want to be busier. Like, I like to build things and I'm so passionate about my brands, but not at all costs. Like, I really prioritize my mental health, also like, you know, seeing what I've been going through also with my dad and so on. Like, I'm not that person anymore who be like, okay, I'll do everything to be successful. If this comes to me and I attract it, I'm okay with it and I'm thankful. But if not, then this was not my path.
Not at the cost of my mental health.
Exactly. Yeah. And also, like, life is so short and life is amazing. I was building this for 10 years and 8 years out of it. So I had a full-time job the first 2 years, and I was working on Janthee on the weekends because I was so scared to quit because I needed to pay insurance. So I was literally hustling and like everything went through it. And like I wasn't going on holidays, but why are you building all this if you can't enjoy it? So I always tell to my friends, I'm so thankful that I started it when I was 22, because now I'm at a point where I want to settle and I want to like slow down and I want to enjoy the little things, like being able to go to La Green in the morning, maybe going like to work a little bit later and so on and on. So if you're not resilient, if you're not aware that building a business is actually work, then an entrepreneurship is maybe not the right thing for you.
Wow.
I went to dinner and I met this amazing girl, and she was working for an amazing fashion brand, and she was just getting married, and she was telling me, yeah, I think now I'm gonna start a brand. And as if it's like nothing, you know, a brand.
So like grabbing coffee.
Exactly. But a brand comes with so much responsibility. If you grow, you have financial responsibility. You're paying the salaries for your team who are providing for their families. There is so much, like a big tail behind it. It's not just like this. And what if now there's war? Okay, hotels are closing. We are selling in hotels. What are we doing?
Yeah,
you know, like, it also gets so much on your mental health. And thank God that 10 years I'm very resilient. Like, for example, when I go home, I never talk about my work, not because I feel like there's not a space, but just because I learned how to solve it within my head and I don't let it affect me. If I have a bad day at work, it doesn't mean my day is bad. So this is something was like a big shift once I realized it, that my value is not, you know, in connection to our sales or how much money I'm earning. I'm still valuable.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
I think that kind of a mindset can get you through anything. Like you said, you're so resilient, and the only reason that things are successful is because you won't let a bad moment stop you. Like, a bad moment doesn't make a bad life. Yeah. So I really love that. And actually, like, you've given me so much inspiration. There's so many things I wanted to do, but like sometimes you need that little pep talk, you know, from someone who has done it, right? And we talk about this all the time. We're like, we're so busy, but maybe sometimes you need to sacrifice something in your current life to create a better future for yourself.
For sure.
Or do something for your future self, you know?
I think it's natural as an entrepreneur, whatever you see, when you see an opportunity or like, okay, there's an opportunity to fix that. Why isn't that on the market? Like any entrepreneur, we have the same thing, that we always think of another business. And I had this so much when I started Janthee, and I really needed to be like, hold on, like, your baby is Janthee and this is your focus. So what I do right now is like, if it's still in my head after a couple months, then I know that it's serious. So you can take your time. Of course, there might be competitors, whatever, but at the end, I always believe the most authentic will win.
Before we go, we have some quick fire questions that we'd like to do with you. You have to answer them very quickly. One word to describe Janthee.
Sassy.
Ooh.
One word to describe FAINE.
Intentional.
I love that.
Confidence or discipline?
Discipline, because with discipline comes confidence, and confidence fluctuates.
Okay,
So
yeah, true.
I would say discipline.
Because discipline, you're kind of more in control.
Exactly.
Right?
It's a decision you put into your mind.
Yeah, I agree with discipline.
Yeah.
Because confidence, I feel like if I drink milk and I start to break out, it's like, now I'm not
Exactly.
confident anymore, you know?
Yeah,
Versus discipline, like I can focus whether I look good, whether I look, you know,
True.
like,
I feel like discipline is a mindset.
Yeah.
And it's a very difficult mindset to learn. With discipline, it's like it's the harder route.
yeah.
Discipline leads into so many different aspects of your life. So yeah.
Yeah.
But big risk or safe move?
For me, always big risk. I honestly, it's so me. Like I would literally bet everything sometimes on one thing.
Wow.
And that's so important though. Even like with anyone, you should always bet on yourself.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Because if you can't bet on yourself, why should other people bet on you?
Absolutely.
So always big risks. And life is short and it's so much more fun.
Yeah, I agree.
And what is your current obsession?
My current obsession, I think, oh my God, I'm not sure if it's like too deep, but I'm so obsessed with becoming more feminine.
I
Like,
love that.
because obviously being an entrepreneur, you come with a lot of baggage. Like we just talked about, you know, being an entrepreneur, you come with trauma as well.
Hustle, trauma. These are all
Hustle.
very masculine energies.
Exactly. And I've been in it for like 10 years and now I even got 2 coaches. I literally have it like I'm really dedicated. Like I'm literally obsessed. I'm reading books about being more feminine and how this can like dedicate your influence your life in a very positive way. And also living in Dubai is such a nice, I mean, I've been here for like 5 years, so it's not new to me, but being surrounded like girls like you guys, for example, you feel the energy. And this is not the same like in Europe. Like in Europe, you speak to girls and it's just like so harsh. Like everything is so harsh. And I really believe that if we can control our emotions and if we can control our femininity, then we have so much power in men, in business, in so much. Right now, my current obsession is like, okay, I want to be more feminine. I want to see what it does have an impact on my relationship, on my business, on my day-to-day. And I'm really obsessed with it. That's why,
Absolutely.
like I said, I have 2 coaches right now. I'm reading books about it. I'm doing courses about it. So once I'm home, I'm like, I have my schedule.
She's a feminine girl.
I love this.
I love this. I was gonna ask you actually, like, what are like 2 or 3 things that you're doing to elevate your femininity? Because I love speaking about this. I was also very masculine and like I was always like doing things way too fast. I wasn't really slowing down.
Me too.
This is a big problem because it affected my relationships.
Yeah.
You know, I felt very manly.
Yeah.
So yeah, what are some tips that you have for elevating femininity?
So the first thing I stopped was literally I stopped boxing. I used to love to box. I used to love to box, but we are not aware what kind of impact those little things have. And right now I want to go radical. Like there's no, you go and you try to switch up. No. Like I go radical because I want to change. And once I have myself more under control, I'm happy to open up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think like if you have hobbies like Pilates, even like going to a coffee with a friend, just like not schedule your entire day. Like what I said, like I'm a very routine person, but allow things to be attracted to you. Those things, and obviously like what we're all doing, like going to facials, having massages and so on. It's really like anything which calms you down, right? Or like reading a book or just like watching a series. And it sounds so stupid and simple, but I would have never like chilling and just watching Netflix. I never did it. You know what I mean?
Being in your soft era.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Slowing
and just
down.
be also okay with things not going the way you want it. I honestly think that the appearance has a lot to do with it as well, because once you feel confident, I really feel like it reflects on everything, on your next move, on your aura, on like the people you meet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you said it very well as well, like getting your nails done, like having your makeup done, and like when you look feminine, when you look like well presented, you kind of like exude that aura into the universe, right? So naturally, maybe you will attract someone who's a little bit more masculine if that's what you're looking for, or like your friendships, you'll have like more girly, soft girl era things to do, right?
For sure.
So we talked about this as well. Like we said, why don't we start doing a different activity that we've never done? Let's do pottery.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
do painting. You know, like cute little things that bring us back to being a girl. You know?
Painting is so feminine.
Yeah.
So I think painting can really calm you down. And you know what I also find what is feminine is to know when to say no. Because I'm someone like I'm like a go-getter and I'm like such a high achiever that sometimes I come home and I'm like, okay, I want to cook a 3-course meal. I want to bake this cake, and then I want to do a fresh juice. And sometimes it's just like, okay, no.
Yeah,
like,
you're
I don't
girl,
want to
chill.
do it.
I don't need
Even though
to
if I
do
love it,
this.
but no, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to put a hair mask on, tie my hair up, sit in loungewear on my sofa and watch a Netflix show.
That's so cute, actually. Yeah, learning.
That sounds like
no.
self-care to me.
Yeah, learning to say no is very important, and in all aspects of your life, right? Because sometimes we do become so masculine because we take too many things on, right? Like, I used to find myself doing that a lot. Like, I would say yes to every collaboration, every this, every that, and then the week comes around and I'm like, I don't have time, I don't have energy, I don't, whatever it is, for whatever reason. So saying no is feminine, and I love that. I think that's a great piece of advice. Whenever you feel you have a creative block, what gets your creative juices and sparks flowing? Yeah.
I have creative blocks all the time.
Okay.
So this is something I've been really learning, or it's changes also. It depends on my current situation. But for me, I am the most creative at night. And as you know, I'm a morning girl. I'm early bird. So I normally wake up at 6. Okay, now if I want to be creative, I need completely change it, because I like it to be by myself. I like to have a slow moment, and I'm only be able to do this if I'm by myself. Wow. So I really love to, just literally, I love Taylor Swift. So I'm literally listening to her concert. And when I'm designing my pieces, and I just try to be myself. So whenever I am, I have a block, I try to just reconnect with myself. I go to the beach and just, try to give myself space and time as well, and not to pressure myself. Before I go, I brought you some little thing of FAINE.
I'm so excited.
These are our journals. We have my favorite wellness journal. So day by day, what I just told you. So basically, you track your mood, you track your skin, you track your water intake, your steps, everything in one. Beautiful. And I love the color, and it fits perfectly to your outfit.
It's my favorite
daily.
And then I brought the 2 others as well, the Heartbreak Journal, which is the cool girl hot mess one,
Nadia,
and the Grief Journal. And I hope you don't need both of them. But I'm just going to leave it here for you to have a look.
Please.
I love that. Oh, guys, if you're watching, you have to see how beautiful these are. The font is beautiful. You did this aesthetic. So beautiful.
The quality of it feels so luxurious. Feels like
a proper coffee table book.
Exact.
I want it to look.
But I want to open it every day. I don't want it to just sit on my coffee table. I want it to sit, and I want to pick
the
it up.
spine of the book.
Beautiful.
It says here, "Becoming Her Daily," a FAINE collection piece, and all of them. Do they have?
They all say that.
I love that.
I want this on my coffee table, just like this.
How beautiful! No, this is stunning.
I love it. Oh, thank you.
I'm so happy you love them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Honestly, thank you so much for taking time to sit with us at the coffee club. I've loved having you on. We definitely need to do a part 2. Maybe we can do a part 2 after we
We use them.
We use them,
and then our journey.
Amazing.
Yeah, we do our journey of journaling, because we don't really journal anymore. The both of us.
I haven't journaled in a while.
And then we have you back on, and you tell us what's happening with FAINE and what's happening with Janthee.
amazing.
I would love that.
Yeah.
So much is gonna happen next year, end of this year.
Inshallah, I'm so excited.
It would be amazing to do a catch up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Linda.
much.
Thank you for joining us at the coffee club, and we can't wait to see you again.